What's one thing we did before the pandemic that, even if the world went back to normal, you wouldn't do again? Daily commute. Our company is committed to 3 days a week maximum in the office. I've been in twice since the pandemic and the colossal amount of wasted time really stunned me. Breathe down people's effing necks in the checkout lane. Treat my job title like it's my family name. Nah, I give you labor and you give me money. That's the extent of our relationship, and much like anyone trading time for money, others will pay me for my time. Not a chance I will ever again bleed, sweat or cry for a refine employer. Never ever again. Having a non-stop out all day go schedule. I understand now why I was constantly feeling frustrated. I was completely burnt out and had no me time. Now I don't make so many commitments to social events, work things, extra stuff, and I can't imagine ever stretching myself so thin again. Won't necessarily say never, but bowling while eating finger food seems like a really bad idea now. I honestly don't see the point in charging people to park at hospitals. I feel like people aren't coming here to have a grand old time. I personally don't go to hospitals for leisure. I think it's gross to charge people parking fees at hospitals when they are going through difficult times. F whoever thought of that. In addition to the other reasons supplied, if a hospital is in an area with other businesses nearby, charging for parking is a way to encourage the customers of restaurants, shops, etc. to not use hospital parking. The only hospital I've been to that charged for parking would validate tickets for patients, so they parked for free. Only non-patients had to pay. Restaurants not doing carry out. My two favorite local places outright refused to do carry out until the pandemic hit. I really hope they don't end it. I love getting the food my wife and I enjoy, but being able to go home and eat it without a bunch of randos around. Curbside pickup. With kids it has been great to not have to get them out / in the car for a quick pickup at a store. I assume this has been a blessing for those with disabilities who can drive, but still struggle getting out and into a car. On that note, more companies doing home delivery. Living in a small town and being disabled, my life has improved dramatically with companies now doing delivery so that they can stay open. Now if only WFH would take off in my country, I'd be able to work again. Unfortunately, the moment they could, most companies required people got back into the office, and the disabled community had been so excited about WFH. We'll probably keep ordering most groceries via curbside pickup. It's convenient, and we spend less on stupid crap we happen to walk past on the way to the milk aisle. We'll still go inside for stuff like produce, though. The store employees just don't seem to pick the best fruit and vegetables. Also, the bakery is right next to the produce, and it's nice to pick up some stupid crap while you're shopping. I'll be avoiding big business, supermarkets, Amazon, restaurant chains and multinationals. Don't know about you guys around the world, but the way the little businesses were treated here in France is sickening. Meanwhile Bezos and others get to swoop in and take everything. It stinks. Work more than 40 hours a week. I used to put in 70 hours some weeks. While the money was good, I realized during the pandemic that I can survive with less and don't need to work myself to death. I DK about one thing, but I certainly am very careful about what I touch and the people I'm around. When I'm in public I try and stay spaced out and not touch anything. If not necessary, I'm with you. I also will probably have a lifelong habit of sanitizing my hands every time I get back in the car and washing them every time I enter my house. Not saying I didn't wash my hands often before, but certainly I'm more aware and do it more often. Live in a city for my job. I absolutely hated going remote for the first year. Emails were so much slower than just asking the guy sitting next to me. I missed making small talk or going out for lunch. Company sponsored events. I still don't like Zoom meetings, but I can tolerate it now. Now that I'm farther removed, I realized a lot of that was just something I was used to instead of something I enjoyed. My rent is almost 50% lower now, and I'm only 10 miles from where I used to live downtown. I still have access to the city, and if they need us in quarterly I can do a longer commute here and there. I'm not paying $200 a month for a parking spot. I get to live a quieter life in a quieter area, and when my significant other and I are ready, we'll be able to purchase a house pretty much anywhere we want. I really love the accessibility of doing doctor visits over the phone or Zoom. Me, I have to talk to a psychiatrist on the reg. Super hard for me to go out to do that. I have debilitating anxiety, and going out to wait in waiting rooms, be seen crying as I leave a therapy session. Hell, even just getting myself to shower, put on makeup, and clean clothes. It's effing impossible sometimes. Not to mention that I used to have my husband drive me into the city, a 45-minute drive, and take care of our young kids during my appointments, then make the drive back in traffic, all of which exacerbated my anxiety and guilt and fatigue. My son diagnosed with AD and ASD during the last 2 years, and his specialists and pediatricians' offices are both at least 45 minutes away and require paid parking. I don't drive because of my mental health issues, and so my husband would take time of work, and both my son and I were negatively impacted by the long and sometimes frenetic drives. We've both been able to access our healthcare providers by Zoom and by phone. That was never an option before this. It has been amazing, and honestly, the quality of our care is improved because we aren't going through panic / dissociating / fatiguing / overstimulating crap just to get to the appointments, and so we are able to advocate for ourselves so much better. Work in open offices. They were waking nightmares for me even before. What with no privacy, routinely being a dull roar, and requiring noise-cancelling headphones to be able to think clearly, and I effing hate bosses watching me like buzzards eyeing a dying water buffalo. Now that I've worked remotely for years, including now for an absurdly well-known company, I ain't coming back to your dog's open offices. I'll come back if you give me my own office. Oh, you won't give me one, and you want me in the office at least 2 days a week in Manhattan for your opportunity? Hard pass. I'm a nurse. I love my job, placing my job before my family and my good friends. Done with every day, filling in for no-shows, existing on chimichangas and death wish coffees, 1 restroom break per shift, sleeping only 4 hours on work days, 14-hour shifts, sometimes 24 hours, only to sleep the day and nights away when off, being hit, bitten, groped and cursed out. I've missed birthdays and graduations, missed out on a lot of living. These last 2 years really did me in. Tired of being sick and tired. I love my family and my physical and mental health more. At least now I do, more than ever before. Live and let live. My family stopped going to restaurants so much. We often went to McDonald's on the way home during our commute because we were hungry and tired. The pandemic stopped that. We didn't go to a restaurant or even order from a restaurant for many months. We started ordering food about 6 months in, and we still barely go to restaurants. We have saved so much money, it's crazy. Clubbing. Being charged to hang out in a room chock full of sweaty people while sweating your A off yourself, while being charged an exorbitant amount for a watered down alcoholic drink, so you can get drunk enough to actually enjoy the experience. I'll just stick to getting drunk with my friends, thanks. Kissing people as a greeting. Never understood it. Tried to avoid it. Won't do it again. I used to attend a lot of conferences for my job. I'd sit in a booth and meet with clients and accounts for several days straight. I handled international accounts, and so I'd meet with clients from all around the world, and so the greetings would vary from handshakes to hugs to kisses on the cheek. And when I think about it now through the lens of our current climate, it's insane to think about just how many germs we were all spreading to one another. I'm not a germ freak, and the reality is that given what I just noted above, it's not like people were constantly getting sick or anything due to the constant physical interactions with strangers, but it just does seem incredibly weird not. And I don't imagine I'll ever go back to that kind of comfort in greeting numerous amounts of people in that manner. As a teacher, have kids turn in physical copies of work. Every student has a laptop or Chromebook now due to remote learning, and it's gonna stay that way, so everything is turned in digitally. It's so nice being able to just upload the work I want them to do without having to bother making copies and hope that the machines aren't down, and I just grade everything on the computer. No more having kids tell me they handed me an assignment and accusing me of losing it. I can just check to see if they submitted it or not. It makes my life so much easier, and it saves a ton of paper.